Every week, we take a look back at the SWAC and MEAC football schedules and look at the predictions that you all made and see how we as a collective did for the week. Let's take a look at it after the bumper. Stay tuned. My people, what is up? What is up, my people? My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, today, as we do every single week, we take a look back at our predictions because this is us. I'm in this together. We're in this together. Our predictions for the SWAC and MEAC football games this week. Last week was kind of rough, and this week I think we were kind of rough again. Let's go ahead and head over to my YouTube channel in the community tab and take a look at our scheduled games from last week. 65% with over 420 votes. 65% of you thought Prairie View would beat Mississippi Valley. Well, the Delta Devils had other things in mind. As you see, Mississippi Valley got the 27-7 win. Valley, as I predicted before the season, Valley wouldn't finish last. Now, they ended up finishing last in the division, but they finished the year strong. And this 27-7 win could potentially keep Prairie View out of the SWAC championship game. So this was a win. This was a game Prairie View wanted. They wanted to win this game, and they still lost. Shout out to Coach Dancy. Shout out to Mississippi Valley. Next year, I think Mississippi Valley will bounce back and have a bounce back year. That's just my thoughts. I said it this year, but I think next year, 2023, is their year. Now, in another shocking upset with over 415 votes, 417 to be exact, 78% of you thought Texas Southern would handle business against Alabama A&M. Well, if you haven't been living under a rock, you understand that that was not the case. Alabama A&M also with the big-time upset, preventing Texas Southern from getting into the SWAC championship game and winning the SWAC West. If with Prairie View's upset loss to Valley, Texas Southern could have been in the driver's seat to be the representative for the SWAC West in the SWAC championship game against Jackson State. But instead, they took a bad loss to Alabama A&M in a game they quite frankly should have won or was supposed to win. Alabama A&M had other things on their mind. Now, in the Florida Classic, with over 540 votes, FAMU, 87%. They took 87% of the 542 votes. And once again, you should know by now that FAMU handled their business in the Florida Classic with a 41-20 victory over Bethune. Now, FAMU, since they are in the SWAC East as Jackson State, even though they've won 9 straight games, even though they only lost to Jackson State in the conference, they will not get a chance to play in the SWAC championship game because they finished second behind JSU. And as we found out this week, they will also not be playing in the FCS playoffs simply because the FCS felt like FAMU's strength of schedule was too weak. And they felt that their 10-point win over Division II team Albany State wasn't impressive enough. It's just a lack of disrespect. It's just a very much disrespectful for FAMU. It's very much disrespectful for head coach Willie Simmons. And I asked Willie Simmons. I went ahead and asked him, and I want to show you guys this actually. I asked him, I said, Coach, do you believe that FAMU essentially, that the SWAC not taking a spot in the playoff, not having an automatic bid to the FCS playoff, hurt FAMU's chances of getting in? I'm going to play you his response. Hold on. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to play for you Coach Willie Simmons' response. I think you can actually hear my question in here. I asked him this during the SWAC championship game or SWAC press conference, and here was Coach Simmons' answer. Let's take a listen. Believe that the fact that the MEAC champion, the SWAC champion, go into the Celebration Bowl may hurt the conference's chances of a team that doesn't make the Celebration Bowl getting into the FCS playoffs? I know it benefits the Celebration Bowl, benefits the conferences, but do you think a team like yours is hurt because the SWAC and the MEAC opt to go to something else besides the playoff?
Are we eligible to go?
Yeah, you are.
That's all it needs to be said. We're eligible to go. So if it hurts us, then that's a personal decision because we're eligible to go. The Ivies aren't eligible. So there's some Ivy League teams that are undefeated or 10-1, 9-0, 9 whatever. They're not eligible to go because their conference decided they're not going to go to the playoffs. The MEAC or the SWAC has never said their teams will not go to the playoffs. We've said our conference champions won't go to the playoffs. But any other team is eligible as members of the FCS, and we still have that agreement. So if it hurts us, it's not our decision. It's not us that hurts it. We still can go. We're eligible.
Do you believe? Shout out to Coach Simmons, man. Great answer. Great answer. I 100% agree with him. It wasn't that I didn't disagree with why I asked the question. I was just curious on his thoughts, and I cut that for the video, but I was just curious. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he said, hey, are we eligible to go? Then guess what? Damn it, we should be there. We were there with the team. These aren't his words. These are my words. With a team that, honestly, this year's team's better than last year's team, and they went. And this year's team won 9 straight games, something last year's team didn't do, and they went. And there's teams in the FCS playoffs with 4 losses. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Now, getting back to our poll, going back to because I got off on a tangent. I'm sorry about that. Jackson State with over 1.3 thousand votes, over 1,000 votes, 1,300 votes to be exact. 96% of you picked JSU over Alcorn. And gosh, dog it was close. It wasn't no runaway. But JSU had number 12. They had Travis. Alcorn didn't. They win that game 24-13 to wrap up a perfect regular season. 11-0, headed to the SWAC championship game on December 3rd, which I will be in attendance for. I will see all of you guys in Jackson on December 3rd. Now, switching over to the MEAC. A lot of you thought with over 375 votes, you had Howard, 59%. Took Howard to be co-champions of the MEAC. And guess what? They did it. The Howard Bison with a resounding dominant 35-6 win over Morgan State takes home co-champions. They are recognized as the co-champions of the MEAC. They won't represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. That goes to North Carolina Central since they had the head-to-head win. But Howard will forever go down as the co-champions of the 2022 season in the MEAC. Shout out to the Howard Bison for accomplishing that. Now, with almost 500 votes, 498 to be exact, 59% of you thought South Carolina State would handle business. The defending, reigning Celebration Bowl champions, HBCU national champions, would handle business against Norfolk. It hasn't been the ideal. It hasn't been the ideal season for South Carolina State, and the season continued to be miserable as South Carolina State got beat by Norfolk State 42-38. South Carolina State finished the season 2-8 on the year. And it has just been announced recently that one of the star middle linebacker, BJ Davis, has entered the transfer portal. So Coach Buddy Pugh's got some things to work on over there. A very disappointing season coming off that championship and bringing back a lot of big-time players like Shaq Davis and starting quarterback Corey Fields and BJ Davis. But, they got a lot to work on. People will say it's because the way they talked about JSU and stuff. I'm going to leave that for y'all. But it did happen. Now, with over 620 votes, 81% thought Campbell would handle Dale State, and Campbell did just that. They handled Dale State 34-7. So, that happened. And then last but not least, with over 425 votes, 428 to be exact, North Carolina Central was picked to represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl and they were already going to represent the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl and finish the season with another win over Tennessee Tech, and North Carolina Central was able to do just that. They were able to get a last-second field goal, 22-20 over a Tennessee Tech team, as they now chill for a month before they go on to play the winner of the SWAC championship game in the Celebration Bowl. Still not a fan of the MEAC because they only have 5 football teams, 5 or 6 football programs that they get a whole month off, and they don't have a MEAC championship game, so they get a whole month off before they get to appear in the Celebration Bowl. Not a fan of that, but, that is what it is. And this week, let me go ahead and talk about it. This week, we've got two games taking place this week. First, the Turkey Day Classic between Bama State and UAPB. And so far, you all with over 400 votes, and you can vote on this at Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube. With over 450 votes so far, you guys, 87% of you think Bama State will take care of UAPB. UAPB's got a interim coach. They're trying to figure things out, and you guys think that they'll handle business against UAPB. But the game that matters the most, the Bayou Classic, and you can still vote right now. This poll is still active. With almost 700 votes, it's a close one. 53% of you think the Southern Jaguars will take home the title as the 2022 Bayou Classic champions over Grambling. Now, Gram fam, shout out to y'all. Y'all can change this poll. It's still up. It's still on. It's 47 to 53, so it's close. Y'all know who I'm rocking with. Come on. GSU. I might have messed that up. I thought you knew. Yeah, shout out to Grambling. But Southern, now this game, because of those upsets we talked about, Southern, this game means a lot. If Southern wins this game, they punch their ticket to the SWAC championship game that'll take place at Jackson, Mississippi against the Jackson State Tigers. They'll get their rematch against JSU. They talked a lot of smack. They got smacked up last time, lost 35-0. They'll get a chance to redeem themselves, but they have to take care of Grambling first to make that happen. If Southern loses, then Prairie View gets the chance to take on Jackson State in Jackson for the SWAC championship game. So Southern's a lot riding on this game. This game always has high stakes, but the stakes are even higher specifically for the Southern Jaguars and Coach Eric Dooley. Go ahead and vote on this poll. Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube right here in the community tab. You just press the community tab and boom, takes you right there. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button on this video. Hit the thumbs up, and we got some special announcements coming very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.